And the French President Francois Hollande has arrived in the U.S. for a state visit. He will begin talks with American President Barack Obama on Tuesday. They're expected to discuss the war in Syria, Iran, and unrest in Africa. Well, Jason Johnson is a professor of political science and communications at Hiram College. He joins us now from Atlanta in the state of Georgia. Thank you for being with us. Now, we're talking about two countries here that haven't always had the best relationship in recent times. Obviously, the war in Iraq comes to mind. How would you characterize their relationship now?
You've got two world leaders who are desperate to make friends. Barack Obama is doing terrible in the polls in the United States. President Hollande is doing terrible in the polls in France. And they both want an opportunity to not only discuss important international policy, but also domestic policy and do the sort of foreign trip that'll make them both look good to their constituents at home. So this is two desperate leaders. I think this is going to be productive.
So who needs this more then? I mean, you talk about these two leaders not exactly flying high in the polls back home. Who wants this more?
I think President Hollande from France wants this much more. Not only his recent personal revelations have been a bit difficult, but he's having more economic difficulties. The doldrums in France economically, he has actually had more difficulty passing through economic reforms than the President of the United States, Barack Obama. Obama's primary concerns right now are things like immigration, and so this is an opportunity for more of a distraction from the President from France than the President of the United States.
What are the major international issues that you think they can find common ground on?
Well, they're obviously in agreement on Syria, but I think one of the most important issues right now is Iran. There was a huge delegation of French businessmen, even members of football teams in France, that went to Tehran last week to discuss possible economic negotiations. And this is a real concern. John Kerry, the Secretary of State of the United States, sort of subtly warned the French that they should not be warming up to Iran until nuclear negotiations are finally finished. So I think that's going to be on the forefront of their discussions this week. And then, of course, there'll be discussions of the NSA and spying.
And when you look at the fact that this is a state visit, it's very easy to dismiss all of the sort of pomp and ceremony that comes with that. But that is something that is very important for both countries, not just politically, but economically as well, isn't it?
Oh, most definitely. This is the first major visit by a French head of state since 1996. So this is very important. It's important for tourism for both nations. It's important as a message back to Europe that the United States is continuing an effort to sort of repair some of the damage that was done, at least diplomatically, during the Bush administration. So it's a critical time for both leaders. And again, moving forward with discussions of Iran sanctions and the nuclear deal, moving forward with Syria, these are the kinds of times where leaders really get to work together and not have the rest of the world prying, but also get some serious work done.
Yeah, two leaders with a lot to talk about. Always a pleasure. Jason Johnson joining us there from Atlanta. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Now, the latest round of South Sudan peace talks have been